Hey everybody, this is Al with El Rey Collection. Hope everybody's doing well. Just was running into some of these boxes and just decided that I was just gonna open these up, see what we got inside. So let's this is just gonna be a PSA submission. And hopefully it'll be a fun one. Not sure which of these boxes. So there's one big box, looks a little bloated. It says imaging on it, and then three of these smaller ones. So without further ado, let's get to it. I guess I'll start with this big one. Hope the paperwork's in there. Let me just make sure that hopefully the audio's okay. Here we go. Yeah, let's get it done. Hopefully there's some good stuff. I honestly still have a number of PSA boxes here that I haven't been able to open because of my travels. So I really have no idea what's in this stuff. So it's going to be fun. Ciao. So good to see you guys. Hopefully there's some good stuff in here. No promises. Oh, cool. Very, very good. But hey, any Moreno is a good Moreno in my opinion. And hey, greetings from Romania. Wow. That's definitely far away from the U.S. Pretty late there. So hopefully you get some sleep. Little known fact, actually, I have a Lithuanian passport. So not super close to Romania, but at least it's Eastern Europe. Hope you guys are safe out there. All right, let's get this rocking and rolling. See what is in this. Now, I think now they're imaging all cards. If Matt Hendler was here, he could tell us that, because this is odd. I haven't seen this before on a box where it says imaging. So, and usually there was a time when it was just high value. Okay, good. We've got the paperwork in here, so that'll tell us what we can expect. I always like looking at this first as a reminder. Okay, this is a bulk submission. Oh my Lord, this is an oldie but a goodie. Yeah, this one came in. This is a little shocking. This came in August 18th. They logged it in. So August 18th. Wow, that's taking some time here. So August, September, October, November, December. Okay, September, October, November, December, January, February, and now we're into March. So basically, let's just go with 6 months plus. There's probably a lot of cards on here that were never graded and they needed to research. So let's look at that. There's 1, 2, and so it's about it's only a 50 card order, so it's not that bad. Okay, so here you can see again when you look at these, you can get a sense for if there's nothing on this side, this card's never been graded before. So you can see the vast majority, at least on this first page, that were never graded. So this probably takes some time to make sure they research this correctly. Why am I struggling with the paper? Sorry about that. So on the second page, let's see. My Lord. Okay. About half of the cards were graded, maybe slightly more than half. And then on the third page, also about half. So let's just go with roughly half of the cards were graded. Unfortunately, I'm working on a couple submissions right now that we're going to end up with almost none have been graded. So if this one took 6 months, who knows how long the other ones are going to take. All right, well, let's get to it. And let's toss this down here. I'm not sure why this one was so thick. Oh God, are these oversized? Oh, okay, I know what these are. Okay, this makes sense. Hey, Seb, good to see you, man. Hope everything's good. So these are, I really like these cards. The problem that these have, these are the 1966 Kuhnolds. Kuhnolds typically made things just a little bit bigger But this is what an image on this. So this is a 6. These were all I thought pretty good copies, so I kind of expected to be in the 4 to 7 range. Um, there was an outside chance of something a little higher, outside chance of something a little lower, depending on what I was. So these are really nice. These are inexpensive, but what a great image, second year image of a very, very young Beckenbauer. And I had multiple copies of these that I'd picked up through the years. Let's see. I have no idea, Seb. It's just all over the board. I'm going to assume that, depending on how difficult things are, how, rare or obscure, it could take longer. For stuff like this, I wouldn't expect it to be that hard. 1960s German. Oh, this is great. So I didn't even look at the grade. So this is an 8. So that's good. So the centering still not perfect. You can see on the 6 here. But yeah, so that's an 8. And then here's Beckenbauer celebrating here. This is another one from the same set. This is fun. That's a 7. Better centering on this. Really nice eye appeal. And then this is where I was telling you, you could probably get some lower grade ones, although there's nothing in particular except maybe some back rubbing, I would say. This was not stuck. Very few of these are, which is why you tend to find these in higher grade. So Beckenbauer, look at that smile on him. That's pretty fun. So that's a 3 and an 8. And then this is one that's always fun. The Grow Gold also has this one on it. This is Eusebio. One of his hobbies, just like my hobbies collecting soccer cards, his was photography, and you can see that here. That's pretty fun. I had a number of these. This one's a 4. This one's a 4. I think I had like 5 of these. He thought one of these would get better than this. This is a 4. I would have thought like 5s or 6s. This is a 5. This is a 3 MK. I'll have to go back and find out where that is because I don't see that. And then here's a 4. Wow, so I'd say that was pretty disappointing. I actually thought these were going to do pretty well. And I got a 3 MK, which is bizarre. 1, 2, 3, 4 4s and a 5. So that's pretty disappointing. Probably lose out on the grading fee there on that one. Not a super popular one because it's oversized. Oh, back to the Beckenbauers. Thought I had a couple of these. This one is a 2. It's maybe the nicest looking 2 you've ever seen. And this is annoying because these actually fit in standard slabs. So here's Jimmy Graves, and that's a 5. And here's a Fontaine that's a 4.5. So again, these, and let me prove to you that this actually fits in a standard slab. There you go. There's a standard slab behind it. It clearly fits. And yet we again get these, I've got a stack of cards that fit in standard holders, but they don't, for whatever reason, put them in. Super annoying, but story for a different day. At least these boxes are definitely cards that fit in standard slabs because the larger ones don't fit in these boxes. So let's see what is in here. And let me see. Yeah, hey, El Toro cards. I think I told you that was my name. The high school that I went to, El Toro High School. So let's dump these out and see what we got. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so first off, here's a Portuguese player that not a lot of people talk about, Vicente. And this is in the 62-63 Celeste. I don't even have this particular card, the Eusebio, in this set, but I do have this Vicente. This is nicer. Again, most of these early Portuguese issues are going to come in at 1s. Followed by a 1 of the Caramelos from the Campeonato, which is a Chilean album from the 1962 World Cup. Here's Luis Suarez in his Spain kit. And if you think about that Spanish team, it had Puskas, Di Stefano, and Suarez, and they took a first round exit. Now, in fairness, Di Stefano and Puskas were kind of at the end of their run. There's a number of these in the submission, which are the Starosta Figuritas Disneylandia. Disneylandia is the name of the album, but there's a number of football players on here. And while it doesn't have the name on the front, the album clearly has a name. This is how we know this is the series. So I had a number of these. So I'm going to put these in a slightly different place so that I can kind of put those together. Here, this one's fun. This comes in a number of different formats. These 1962 World Cup stickers. This got a 1.5. A lot of these were removed, but I love the back on this one. This is the Jota Diaz Campos version, and this is, I think, is Chilean or Peruvian. Can't remember right now, but it's from a South America one, I believe. And so these are actually tough with this back. The albums were slightly different, and so we'll put that over here. And here's a Garrincha from the same set. Also a PSA 1. It's got some creasing on here, you can see right across the front, but cool back. Again, was not expecting super high grades from this. This is also another copy of the Garrincha. And some of these, here's a Bobby Charlton for Seb. And you can notice that this is the Latin American version because it says well, you maybe not be able to see that, but it says Inglaterra in Spanish. So you get that there. Here's a 1951 Maga Alemán, and this is Di Stefano. This is a 1, but a good looking one. Not any paper loss that I can see off the beginning, so that's good. Here's a Schnellinger. It's a very rare issue in my experience. The 1963 Newsy out of Italy, and pretty cool. I like the back as well. Very fun. That got a 4. Here's another JD Campos again with Di Stefano that I mentioned at a 1.5. Looks better, I would say. A 1.5 looks better than this. Here's a 64 Luis Suarez in a 4 coming back. These are mostly found unstuck, so anything that's never been stuck is good and fun. Here's a Carlos Puseye in the Figuritas Disneylandia. Again, 4. These were never stuck. You can see, as most Argentine Pogs, they have some serious centering issues. So a lot of times these will get MCs for miscut. For here, they just kind of took it into consideration and gave that a 4. Let me see. I got some action over here on the comments. I'll pause here for a second. Maybe that's true. It's honestly, I'm very bad at figuring out what the cards should get. Have you seen the new PSOs? Yeah, they do. And there are some crooked stickers, which is a pain. I'm imagining they have a continuous improvement, so they're always trying to do better things, but it's so frustrating. Actually, I showed on my last video from only a couple days ago. I don't have it here anymore, but I had some Laszlo Kubala, smaller stickers that were like slightly a kilt, and that really bothered me. Made that comment on there. Here's a 1966 Bruguera. What a beautiful photo of Jairzinho. It's kind of in the rookie constellation. The 64 Quisho is really hard to find, so a lot of people think of 66, and this is a really nice one. That's a PSA 5. So those are tough. Here's another Luis Suarez in another 4. Hang on. No, I picked from the wrong file. Here's the Dino Soft and a PSA 1, which blows my mind with that back. So even if there's some minuscule paper loss, which is not evident to my eye, I just think on eye appeal, I mean, that should be higher, like a 1.5 at least, a 2. I don't know what's going on there. Here's a 2, and what is another seemingly really, really nice copy of the card. I sent in a number of Zoff cards in this order. And then this one, which looks not nearly as good as this one, comes in with a 4. So, and it doesn't have the miscut moniker, which you would kind of expect given how tight that one is. But that comes out as a 4. Here's another Disneylandia card, the Cervino Varela. Cool. You always see him with his hat on, which is pretty fun. There's a Rinaldo Martino. And here's an Enrique Garcia. A lot of these are post career. This is a 6. Oh wow, I didn't even notice. I wasn't even looking at the grades. This is an 8, which has got to be like, I guess look how nicely centered this one is. Got to be one of the top grades of the set. Here's an Enrique Garcia at a 6, but all of these were right from the packets. So they were, expected to do relatively well, except for the off centering. Here's an Arsenio Rico, nicely centered there. So that's kind of fun. So on to the next one. See what we can, find in here. I was more looking at whether they'd been graded or not. I didn't really didn't really look at what was in these boxes. Again, this is from last August. So really not paying super close attention to and not remembering most of the stuff that's kind of in here. But here's this is some fun ones. So here is a Mario Coluna. It really annoys me when they just put the name here like Coluna. I mean, you should know that this is Mario Coluna and you should put his full name. And I understand they don't want to put the wrong name, but I mean, you got to have somebody who knows. I mean, even do a Wikipedia search and just verify the face and put the guy's full name. That type of stuff just bothers me. It reeks of laziness. So here is another really kind of fun. Actually, really, these Alex cards from the 1960s are really tough. And this is the Alex Artistas de Bola from 67, 68. Again, his rookies in the mid 50s. These aren't super valuable, but these should all be ones. They're all folded and not great looking stickers, but just having a copy is awesome. Now this is interesting. Oh, this is because it's miscut, but I think this is actually factory miscut because a lot of these were, but regardless, this will show up as an authentic. This is the 67, 68 A Francesa. The A Francesas are harder in general. So this has got kind of a terrible diamond cut on it, but it is kind of a unique sticker. So we've got that one. We've got this German version of these 1966 cards. I'm not even going to try to say the name of that. If you want, you can at home. So there you go. This is a PSA 2, which, yeah, I mean, maybe, it just doesn't look ever stuck. I'm thinking that all of this stuff besides the Suarez popped out at a PSA 2. So I think somebody thinks all this stuff is stuck, and except for the Disneylandia ones. Here's a Sealer, really cool card. The Congas, I think, are pretty cool. Small little Conga up there. They're blank backs, but still kind of nice. The Jama Santos on the from the German issue. Again, no paper loss, but got a 2. Here's a Felix Lastau out of 3. The Disneylandia. Here's a Garincha and the FHER. And these are also blank back, issued primarily in Spain. Here is a Yashin. And that comes back as a 6 despite the miscut here. So I would have surprised that to be a little worse. That one I did, I think, get the benefit of the doubt. And here is another Yashin from the same issue that gets a 1. And I think if I don't show you the grades, which one do you prefer? Dun, dun, dun. Take a look at the backs. Dun, dun, dun. So I think I'm going to guess that most people would pick this one. Doesn't have the red. I guess there's a little bit of miscut down here, but this red miscut just shows a lot more. And you may, I don't know how much of a premium you want. So just always remember to buy the card, not the grade, guys. That's just always a reminder. I need to remind myself of that sometimes as we go through. Another super underrated player is Elias Figueroa. So he is one of the best South American defenders ever, and you just never hear anyone in the hobby talk about him. Here's a 3. I've accumulated a number of his cards over the years. Another 3. Again, these are the FHER. Here's another 3 on this one. A little miscut here on the side. Then here's the FHER Bobby Charlton and a 6. Pretty high grade for that. We've got this 1962 crack out of Argentina. It gets an authentic. It's removed, and I think this is why they're concerned about it. I'd still give that a 1 being removed. Cool front, though. Not a card you see every day. And here's another one you don't see other day. To go back to these Brugueras. These were all in pretty good shape. I don't know why this got a 2. It's from the exact same never stuck set as this one that got a 5. So this one gets a 2. Cool photo, though, not commonly seen. Here's another Garincha. There's a number of these players, including Pele, in this set, 1966 Bruguera. If you don't know this, check it out. You can get some really cool photography of 1960s Pele. And these are really cool for Garincha. I really like this one. It's probably my favorite one. That came back in a 4. This one came back in a 3. So a nice little couple Garinchas there. And Zarzino, here we have with a Beckenbauer coming back in a 3 with the FHER. And this one, you see, there is a spot, a brown spot. I don't see paper loss, but it's a 3. So now this one does surprise me. I guess it's probably this corner here. I don't see them do this to baseball cards, and this is why I get a little annoyed. So you may be able to see this corner that's just rubbed off. These are thin, kind of, I'm not going to call them wax paper, but they have a very particular feeling to the paper. And if it misses a little piece, they tend to call it authentic. I would call that a rounded corner, and you just give it I've seen rounded corners in baseball cards where they give them a 3 and leave it like that. These guys are now calling it authentic altered. I don't know what to make of that. Still, by the way, super cool card. Love that image. So this is something I would 100% agree with this. And I don't know that basically David's saying here that all soccer cards come back significantly lower than cards from baseball, American football, and basketball. I would also generally agree with that. It's just odd to me how they're always like amazing. Well, this one they're saying is altered, but look at that. Just beautiful sticker. Authentic altered. Some of these are just, this one I kind of get, but like you just like look at these things and I'm like, these 3s, these 1s, I don't know. Again, I try not to get overly emotional about it, but I don't love it. So it is what it is. And it looks like the guy who was in charge of the Portuguese things just probably didn't understand them or hasn't seen them before, so just as like authentic. Because I got this one, and now look what's coming up here. This Eusebio that they also call authentic, and it's likely because of this nick in the side. You see how it kind of jettisons in, but it's just a really bad fold. So and these are all gonna be ones, and no one's out there like trimming these because they're all ones. They're all, look at the staining on the back. I mean, this is anyway. I still continue to be a glutton for punishment, sending stuff out, to be graded. Here's a really fun one from the 67, Alex and Eusebio. This is really nice. I just really like all these different designs on there. So actually quite a few Portuguese in this. I'm actually going to move these over here. And then here's the second copy of this Alex with a MK. I guess because these lines on the back, I guess. Probably. But those are the Alex ones are really hard. And look at some of these. Look at this, like how cool this is, right? How just the graphic design so different from any other country. So yeah, these are fun. This one I really like too, that you almost never see. And this is the Eusebio from I think they got this wrong. They from Besca. I think it's Francesa. So I think I'm gonna have to send this back because they put the title on the company wrong up here. And I had two of these, but they're really special, clean photography. And yeah, so two of these, they actually have different numbers. You can see number 11 and number 23. And so he has a Benfica and the Portuguese thing on it. So really kind of a cool duo of a super rarely seen set. So we'll take those. Here's this one as well. These are, I'm imagining those were all ones. I'll have to go back and double check it. Here's another Francesa of 1.1. Again, as you'd expect. Very fun though. If you're running through the Portuguese stuff, here is a Rico and a 6 for Disneylandia. Here's a Jose Solomon and a 6. Really cool. This one pretty well centered. The back stamp isn't great, but a 6. So pretty good grade. We got one returned here. Here's the Yashin and a TTT. This one was removed. You can see this. I just love the colors on this. Thought it's a pretty cool sticker. Here's another one of these Eusebios and a PSA 1 from the 69 Francesa. And these are probably the Portuguese ones. Probably a lot of those were the first times they'd been graded. Here's a fun Eusebio from the Mira set. This is what I call the first refractors. You're getting the wrong light in here, but if these actually shine. I can't really do it, but really cool. There's a Pele out there of this. Even the back's cool. They're usually pretty thrashed like this. So that was a 1. Here's a Luis Suarez from Crack. 66 blank backs, but these were kind of fun. It's from the Campeon. A number of star players are in that set. Here's an Eusebio from the FHER, which I think somewhere down here. Yep. So we'll put those together. Some more Disneylandia players. Calomino. And that was a 4. Here's a Carlos Puseye with a 7. Really nice centering on the back there. Here's the Caramelos Campeonato, like we saw the Suarez earlier on from Chile. Comes back in a 2. I didn't think this one was stuck, but maybe it was. Here's a Kaluna. And this one gets a 1 MK, which is the right designation. You can see there's some writing here on the back. And you can also faintly see one of these early collectors put a 10 on his jersey. So obviously that MK is correct. This one's just gorgeous. This is an Alex again. We saw the Eusebio earlier with this like 7 down here, which I never really understood what it was. But this is a 1 for Kaluna. So got a few Kalunas graded in this set. And that, my friends, is it for that box. Let me see if the Greater Star Soccer. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably right. You don't typically see anything higher than an 8. I mean, I guess there's some Alifas in my last stuff that I was looking at. There was a 7.5 Alifa, right? So that was one, and then I got I don't think there was an 8, but were a couple 7s of the Termos, which are usually in good shape from Suarez. And then this one, I don't think this was in a recent grade. I may have gotten this return. That's about it. That's about as good as it gets. An 8 in vintage soccer. So I mean, occasionally there's something, but it's super, super rare. And then this one is interesting because this is actually I worked on a project with PSA and they sent this one back and sent me some scans. And this was actually purchased from a pretty reputable dealer. But on looking at the scans, I was also convinced from my own card that this is a copy. It's a very good copy, but under high magnification, this is actually not an actual card. It feels like the thickness of these cards, so that's a little concerning as well. But when you actually scan in here, you can see some dot matrix rings. So I totally agreed with them in not grading this, and we'll kind of reach out to that dealer. It just like on first look, it all looked right, but under magnification, it doesn't look right. And I agreed with them to return this as well. And I will talk with the other dealer as well. So, just be careful out there. It's a message that we have, that I have, and I'm just trying to make sure we're as clean as copy, clean as possible for the hobby. Make sure that you, when you're buying stuff from Italy, you make sure that that what's it called, anastatica or copies. So make sure you don't buy any of those, and just kind of be aware. I've seen a number of posts on Instagram and elsewhere about more fake Messis showing up, including 71 bis. It's just it's kind of ugly out there. I hate it. I'd say PSA's the best at screening this out, but the hobby just needs to get better at this. It's just because it really takes away from the enjoyment if you're worried about fakes being out there. Hey, if you like this video, please like it. If you're still on here, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button, helps me and the algorithm, and I'll continue to open. I've got more boxes here I'll try to do this week, and I'm just a hair away from posting some really fun videos on the 7 Wonders. And today I just noticed that I hadn't posted my 2000s video, which I thought I had posted back in December. So that one will be out soon. So it should be a fun month of content here coming up. And hopefully everybody's doing well. I'll take one last look at the comments, see if anybody wants to discuss anything imperfect. Before I hang up here, let's see here. Yeah, those are awesome. I love the 60s Eusebio from Portugal. They're just awesome. Yep, I would agree with it. Those Portuguese issues. And you know what? There's so few. Portugal as in the 1960s is not what it was today. It was really one of the lower income countries in Europe, as you guys know, and just these stickers are so thin. So it's just one thing to be aware of. They're almost going to all be ones and twos, which is one of the things I love about them, because you're not super worried about the grade. You're just worried about finding a copy. A lot of people are incredibly hesitant, and I understand it, to take these out of the albums. Right, here's some more, that we're talking about. They're really hesitant to take these out of the albums, because then their album's incomplete, and they really value the complete album. And so it's hard to find individual stickers, and very few people want to destroy a complete or a nearly complete album, just to get the Eusebio, Coluna, Aguas, Vicente. There's just a number of players, but let's be honest, for a global collector base, there's probably 10, 15 players that I'd say the global community cares that much about, from the 1920s through the 1970s, that are in Portuguese albums. And that's just not worth it, especially if you're a club collector, to break up an album. So I find them really hard to find in general, and the population was low and the income level was low. So I think it's just, for me, it's one of the favorite countries to collect from, especially because of Eusebio, his importance both to club and country, and even Africa. So it makes it really fun to collect those. Yeah, so if you are into learning more, I thought I had the book here. Oh yeah, I do actually. All right. This is a great book for Portuguese, for those interested in Portuguese collectors, by Hugo Silva. And what he basically does an absolutely fantastic job breaking down all of the sets that you see. You can see I flag them when I find them, and I put certain cards on my want list that I believe should be in there. So this is really an incomparable book guide, the absolute best for Portuguese issues. Highly recommend. Again, Hugo Silva. If you can find him on Facebook. If you don't know where to find the book, I can get you in contact with him. I think I bought it out of Portugal, but I think you can find it in other places, and you can tell him that I recommended it. I'm a super fan of his. He did a lot of the work for us in general. So I guess that's it for today. Boys and girls, hope you subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please like this video, and stay tuned for more content as we move through 2024. Thanks, everybody. Take care.